Has Drake been lying to us for over a decade, or is hip-hop rewriting its own history right in front of our eyes? And why? After 10 whole years of silence, is he suddenly denying the one rumor that haunted his entire career? We're diving into one of the strangest and most unbelievable stories in rap history. Tricklegate, the infamous allegation that someone literally peed on Aubrey Drake Graham inside a movie theater. And before you think this is a joke, the names attached to this story aren't random. We're talking T.I., Kendrick Lamar, Meek Mill, and T.I.'s friend Cap. Real people, real stakes, real consequences. So why is Drake only speaking out now? Why did he avoid the topic for over a decade, even while feuding with Meek and Kendrick? And most importantly, who's telling the truth? Before we go further, support me by liking this video and subscribing to this channel. It helps a lot. Drake, out of nowhere, jumps online and calls Cap on multiple people. Kendrick, T.I., Meek Mill. He claims the whole thing was manufactured for views and interview clout. Drake had 10 years to deny this rumor. Yet he waits until 2025 when everything's cooled off. That alone sets off alarms. To understand how we got here, we need to rewind to the late 2000s, back when Drake was still climbing the ladder, still hungry, still proving himself. He was with T.I.'s crew at a private theater screening. Crowded room, music industry energy, too many egos in one space. And somewhere during the chaos, according to Meek Mill, T.I., and others, T.I.'s longtime friend, Cap, accidentally or drunkenly urinated on Drake's leg. Imagine the scene. Drinks spilled, people arguing, someone bumps someone, a fight almost breaks out, security rushing in, and in the middle of it all, Drake allegedly getting splashed in the crossfire. Sounds insane, right? Absolutely absurd. But that didn't stop the rumor from spreading like wildfire. Because the names behind the story, they weren't random bloggers. They were frontline witnesses. And the strangest part? Drake said nothing. Fast forward to Drake versus Meek Mill, the beef that broke the internet. Meek didn't just drop diss tracks. He dropped information. During interviews and online rants, Meek repeated the story. You let T.I.'s homie piss on you in the movie theater. People didn't believe him at first. But the more the rumors circulated, the more it stuck. Why? Because Drake didn't deny it. Not on Twitter, not in interviews, not in lyrics, nothing. In hip-hop, silence isn't just silence. It's often seen as confirmation. And the internet never forgot. After Cap tragically passed away, T.I. released a tribute track. Nobody expected what came next. T.I. rapped, "While I'm fighting my own, somehow got you home." So drunk in L.A., he ended up pissing on Drake. Hip-hop stopped. People froze the track, replayed the bar, argued for days. T.I. didn't phrase it like gossip. He said it like a memory, like something he experienced. And T.I. has zero reason to lie about something so bizarre on a tribute song to his deceased friend. The credibility skyrocketed. For many people, that was the moment the rumor became legend. From that moment onwards, every time people listed Drake's biggest L's, this one always sat at the top. Not ghostwriting, not the Pusha T beef, not the Kendrick battle. Number one, the movie theater incident. Memes, comments, live stream jokes, blog headlines, rap podcasts. It became part of hip-hop culture. Every joke about Drake's toughness linked back to this incident. And through all of that, Drake stayed silent. Recently, the Canadian podcast We Love Hip Hop revisited Drake's biggest L's. The hosts weren't even clowning. It was part of a bigger conversation. But the moment they mentioned the incident, the internet exploded. People clipped it, shared it, debated it again. And finally, Drake responded, but not with clarity, not with details, just with a dismissive denial. "No man ever pissed on me in life." And instantly, people started asking, if it never happened, why didn't you say this in 2010? Or in 2015 when Meek used it? Or during the Kendrick beef you're still recovering from? Why now? Drake waited until Cap died. T.I. moved past the beef. Meek and Drake reconciled. Kendrick overshadowed the rumor with newer L's. Hip-hop stopped caring. Drake needed good press. And his public image took damage in 2024 to 2025. So ask yourself, Why deny something only after everyone stopped talking about it? It feels like someone who waited until the courtroom emptied before telling their side of the story. It definitely looks suspicious. This is what makes his denial shaky. Not one, not two, but three major voices confirm the story. Meek Mill, T.I., people who claim to be present, and the only person denying it is the alleged victim. Years later, during a PR-sensitive moment in his career, when he has a new generation of fans who never heard the story, it feels like Drake's trying to rewrite the narrative for Gen Z. But hip-hop remembers everything. Kendrick Lamar, during Not Like Us / Meet the Graham season, threw massive shots. He referenced Drake taking real L's and losing his dignity. The internet instantly remembered the P rumor. Kendrick didn't mention it directly, but the culture connected the dots. So again, why didn't Drake deny it then? Why didn't he clear the air during the biggest lyrical war of his life? Because if the story truly never happened, that was the perfect moment to shut it down. But he didn't. Not once. Let's be fair. There's a tiny possibility that Cap was drunk, T.I. exaggerated for a bar, Meek used it as a diss tool. The story spiraled out of control, and the internet turned it into a myth. Maybe Drake stayed silent because he thought the rumor would die. Maybe he believed acknowledging it would make it bigger. That's possible. But if that's true, then why address it now? When the internet attention has died down, it still doesn't add up. The other explanation is uncomfortable. Drake remembers exactly what happened, but doesn't like how the story makes him look. Remember, Drake is extremely image-conscious. Every photo, every post, every lyric, a rumor like this tarnishes the unbothered, untouchable superstar persona he built. So maybe he didn't deny it earlier because he couldn't. Too many witnesses. Too risky. Too much pressure. Too much attention on the beefs. But now, with Cap gone and T.I. unbothered, maybe he feels safe rewriting history. Again, no proof. Just possibilities. But the timing looks calculated. In any story, credibility matters. Meek Mill had no reason to lie during the beef, was emotionally charged, claimed insiders told him directly. T.I., present at the scene, has no beef with Drake, said it casually on a tribute record, gains nothing from the lie. Cap, named by multiple people, friends confirmed his behavior while drunk, never publicly denied the story. Drake, silent for 10+ years, denies randomly during a career dip, provides no details, no context, no explanation. Who sounds more believable? There's also a middle ground. Maybe Cap was drunk. Maybe urine splashed accidentally. Maybe Drake moved away. Maybe T.I. exaggerated the bar. Maybe Meek used it as ammo. In other words, maybe everyone told the truth. Their truth. But internet culture never lets nuance survive. So the story became extreme. And Drake's silence allowed the extreme version to become fact. Drake's entire persona is built on being smooth, calculated, always in control, always winning, emotionally unshakable. A rumor like this cracks that image. It humanizes him in a way he hates. But Kendrick, on the other hand, he openly shows flaws. He embraces duality. He admits weakness. That's why Kendrick is harder to destroy. When an artist hides weakness, the internet will dig until they find it. At this point, the story has become folklore. Some people believe T.I., some believe Meek, some believe Drake, some believe nobody. But the real truth might not matter anymore. What matters is why the silence lasted so long, why Drake is suddenly rewriting history, and whether this is part of a bigger pattern in his career. Drake doesn't lose because of rumors. He loses because of patterns. And the pattern here? Avoid, ignore, deny way too late, blame others for bringing it up. This is exactly why Kendrick, Joe Budden, Charlemagne, academics, and others always say the same thing. Drake hates looking weak. And this rumor exposed something deeper. Not about the incident, but about the man himself. So now we're left with one final question. Who do you believe? The rapper who stayed silent for 10 years? The witnesses who confirmed it without hesitation? Or the possibility that the truth lies somewhere in between? Because if this rumor is false, Drake is the victim of one of hip-hop's wildest smear campaigns ever. But if it's true, then Drake didn't deny it earlier because he couldn't. And that's a much bigger L than the rumor itself. Either way, this is Tricklegate. This is hip-hop history, and this story is far from over. Remember to like this video and subscribe to this channel if you're new. And as always, stay active.